Most sales funnel optimization advice is stuck in the Stone Age. After auditing 739 offer funnels, course funnels, and client acquisition systems, I'm convinced that's one of the biggest reason businesses struggle to generate clients or sales online. Because over the last few weeks, I went deep. I reviewed funnels from coaches, consultant, agency owners, course creators, freelancers, and solopreneurs. Funnels generating thousands of dollars for entrepreneurs, funnels generating millions for big course creators, funnels generating absolutely nothing. And somewhere around audit number 400, I noticed something really strange. The highest converting funnels were not doing more. They were consistently trying to do less, fewer pages, fewer steps in conversion journey, less content, less noise, and more targeted approach. And ironically, those funnels were outperforming the funnels that were trying to do everything, trying desperately to convince visitors to buy their product or service. And that was not even the most surprising thing I found. Because after auditing all 739 funnels, what shocked me most was how unaware most entrepreneurs are of these changes. They are still following advice that should have been buried years ago. Here are five major shifts that have fundamentally changed how sales funnel and landing pages work today. These patterns are what separates businesses making $1,000 per month or 1 lakh rupees per month from businesses making $50,000 per month or 25 lakh rupees per month. And if your funnel is getting traffic but not consistently generating clients or sales, there's a very good chance one of these five patterns is the reason. But before we get into this sales funnel patterns, let me tell you, this is not theory. For the last 12 years, I have personally built more than 320 funnels from scratch and audited more than 400 funnels across multiple industries and across the world. I have spent thousands of hours studying what makes people click, apply, book, buy, and convert into client or customer, which is exactly why some of these discoveries shocked me also, because they completely contradict what most marketers are still teaching today. And the first pattern start with the one thing almost every entrepreneur says they have, but very few actually possess: trust. Lesson 1: The trust hierarchy. Before we start with lesson 1, let me tell you a small story. Two people are trying to sell you an apple. Both apples are identical, but the approach each salesman takes is completely different. One salesman tells you how great the apples are, how they are organically grown, and every other selling point you can imagine for the apple. While the other salesman says the same thing, but halfway through his pitch, he adds one sentence that immediately grabs your attention. He says, I have been selling these apples to your neighbor Ridhima every week for the last 2 years, and she's the one who referred me to you. That one reference instantly makes him stand out, and you pay more attention to him because you found a reason to trust his words more than the other sales guy who is trying to sell you the exact same apple also. And that trust is what eventually leads to a transaction. Now the same thing happens in sales funnel too. Your funnel page is the salesman. The apple is your product or service. How you earn the trust of your prospect is what separates you from the other 99% entrepreneurs, agency owners who are trying to do the same thing. Because most businesses don't have a traffic problem. Traffic can be easily generated online. Most businesses don't have a design problem also. Most businesses have a credibility problem because trust is now the most valuable currency on the internet. Think about it. Your visitors has already seen fake testimonials, fake screenshots, fake urgency, fake gurus trying to sell methods they have not tried themselves just for money, and they have seen this hundreds of times. So when they land on your page, their default reaction is not belief, it is skepticism. And this is where most funnels fail. Not because they lack proof, because they use weak proof. Here's the hierarchy I repeatedly found during my funnel audits. A text testimonial beats no testimonial at all. A screenshot beats text testimonial. A screenshot with measurable results beats a screenshot. A case study beats screenshot. A client video beats almost everything. So the question is not, do I have the proof? The right question is, how believable is my proof? Because the brain does not process proof as true or false, it processes proof as believable or unbelievable. So look at your page right now, every testimonial, every review, every result, and ask yourself, is this believable or is it just decoration on the page? Because there's a huge difference. But here's where it gets even more interesting. I found something even more powerful than social proof in my audit, and it is something that is influencing conversions before visitors read a single word on your sales funnel page. And the shocking fact is that most funnels are getting it completely wrong. Lesson 2, the image test. Before I explain this pattern to you, let me tell you something about human behavior. We always try to relate to people in one way or the other. What I mean by that is, if you see someone who is or was in the same situation as you and they are able to accomplish something that you also want, you immediately start relating to that person. You start finding similarities and thinking, if they did it, maybe I can too. See how that completely changes your perception and thinking? Just because you saw someone in raw, authentic form that you could relate to, you are now convinced that achieving the same result might be possible for you too. The exact same behavior shows up in the funnels also. Let me explain how. Before visitors read your headline, before they notice your call to action, before they understand your offer, they have already formed an impression about your funnel or about your offer. And most funnels lose the sale right there because their image creates distance between the buyer and the results they are looking for. Here's a simple test I want you to do right now. Look at every image, every graphic on your ads, on your email copies, on your funnel pages, and ask, does this move visitors closer to the result they want or further away? Across hundreds of funnels I audited, the best performing funnels consistently used one of three things: real people, real transformations, real results. That's it. Not stock photos, not generic business handshakes, not smiling people pointing at laptop or holding money or showing off their rented cars. They used real humans, real outcomes, real evidence from their client work or from their community. And that's what strongly influences visitors' behavior and makes them think this could work for me too. Because real, unfiltered images create authenticity, and authenticity feels believable, and believability creates trust. Trust creates action. The highest converting image is not necessarily beautiful or polished, it's believable, and that's a completely different standard. But the next pattern surprised me even more because it's not visual, it's not design, it's not traffic related, it's language. And how one headline change produced 21.17% increase in conversion rate for my client. Lesson 3: use their words. Now I want you to imagine this, okay? Two people are talking to you. One speaks German, which you barely understand. The other speaks like your college friend and thinks exactly like you do. Which one do you think you would pay more attention to? Which one would you enjoy talking to for long duration? The answer is obvious, right? The exact same logic applies to your funnel pages too, because we are now living in AI era where everyone sounds identical, where every content piece is polished, looks so professional and neat, but nobody sounds like human. The authenticity, the raw, is getting slowly extinct. The highest converting funnels I studied and audited did something completely different. They used customers' language, not marketing language, not their own expertise language or jargon from there. They used customer language, the kind that's raw, relatable, and instantly familiar to the person reading it. That is your target audience. And when I talk about customer language, I do not mean using one or two words. I mean sentences that they can relate with. That when they read, they feel like, okay, this is talking to me. This is for me. That is what I mean when I say customers language. Here's an example for that. One funnel headline said, transform your business using a proven growth framework. That sounds smart, sounds professional, like it's written by a very experienced businessman, but also sounds like everyone else in the market. Then I reviewed a customer intake form from our client. There, one prospect wrote, I woke up at 3 a.m. worrying whether I will have enough money to pay my team next month. That's not marketing copy, that's reality for many entrepreneurs, many businessmen. Because people connect with reality. So we rebuild the complete messaging of the funnel around that single emotion, and conversions jumped. Because people don't buy when they understand you. People buy when they feel understood. And there's a huge difference between that. The fastest sales copy improvement you will ever make, just stop writing and start listening. Review your sales call, your client call, or your discovery calls. Review client messages, emails. Review your testimonials or your reviews, because their word will outperform yours almost every single time. If you are a part of community like school community or LinkedIn group or Facebook group, steal languages from there, steal emotions of people who are related to your offer or your service, steal things from there because people will relate with that. And then I discovered something that completely changed how I approach sales funnel optimization. Because up until now, we have been talking about adding things. But the biggest conversion gain I found came from removing things. As you climb the ladder higher, the more burden you carry, the slower you get. That same applies to your sales funnels also. Lesson 4: Remove to improve. Humans naturally want more, and that tendency shows up in almost everything we do. We always want more without fully understanding the consequences that come with it. And the same mindset often shows up in our funnels too. We start believing that if we offer more, explain more, and add more, people will be more likely to buy our offer or work with us. But in the process of adding more, we often lose more than we gain. And that's where the problem begins. After auditing this 739 funnels, the discovery that shocked me most was this: the funnel that offered less, the funnel with fewer sections, less frictions, and fewer distraction consistently converted better. Even Alex Hormozy talks about this. These entrepreneurs were able to control their emotion and resist the urge to keep adding more. More sections, more button, more feature, more explanation. Instead, they removed unnecessary sections, button, explanation, and features until the funnel became as simple as possible. Because when the funnel becomes simple and you are using the relatability, the images, and using the language which the potential customer or potential prospect can relate with, the conversion happens naturally. You do not need to explain yourself too much. Now just imagine this: when you are faced with too many options, too much information, too many decisions, what do you usually do? You either avoid making decision altogether or choose the path that requires the least amount of effort. The exact same thing happens inside a sales funnel too. When there's too much happening on your sales funnel page, potential buyers feel confused, they feel overwhelmed, and eventually they leave. Because remember, confused people don't buy, overwhelmed people don't buy, distracted people don't buy, clear people buy, simple converts. So, every element on your funnel page should answer one simple question: if I remove this, does my conversion rate suffer? If the answer is no, remove it immediately. That's exactly what the highest converting funnels were doing over and over again to all their funnel pages. If you're the type of person who prefers real world experience over recycled marketing advice, please subscribe to my channel. Every week, I break down real funnels that I have built for my client and share experience from my 12 years of running a digital agency. And next week, I'm showing you how your thank you page is losing anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 per month, and almost nobody notices it and optimizes the thank you page. I'm sharing how you can optimize your thank you page to generate extra $5,000 to $10,000 per month. So please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon. So when I will publish the next video, you will get a notification. And now we are at the final pattern, the one that explains why 60% of visitors never even see most of the changes you have been making to your funnel. And this one quietly eats your ad budget every single day. Lesson 5: Above the fold architecture or hero section. Before I explain this pattern to you, can I ask you a question? If you are about to meet someone for a business meeting and they make a strong first impression on you, How do you feel? Do you feel more excited to have the conversation? Do you naturally look forward to hearing what they have to say? The answer is probably yes. And the exact same psychology applies to sales funnels also. When someone visits your funnel page, the impression your first section creates matters more than most people realize. We call that section the hero section or above the fold section. And here's something that should get your attention: 60% of visitors never scroll beyond that first section. Just think about that for a second. And the reason that happens is very simple. Your hero section failed to create a strong first impression. It failed to create relevance. It failed to make the visitor feel like this is exactly what I'm looking for. And the irony is, most businesses and entrepreneurs obsess over sections that hardly anyone sees while completely neglecting the one section everybody sees, your hero section. While auditing these 739 funnels, I noticed that the best performing funnels almost always had a strong hero section, and five key elements consistently appeared in their hero section. First, a clear outcome focused headline that is emotion driven. Second, a simple explanation of how the offer works. Third, a result focused visual. Fourth, one believable proof element. Fifth, one call to action. And then a layout and background that highlights those five key elements in the hero section. That's it. Because when visitors land on your funnel page, they should instantly understand what this is, who it's for, what outcome it creates, what action to take. If those answers are not obvious, the funnel starts leaking conversions immediately. So let me quickly recap the five patterns from 739 funnel audits. First, trust is not about quantity, it's about believability. Second, images should create desire, not distance. Third, customer language beats marketing language every single time. Fourth, remove before you add. Don't let the greed for more overshadow your path to profit. Fifth, your above the fold section, your hero section, determines whether most visitors stay or leave. This is very important section if you are running ads. Now let me frame the sales funnel optimization in a way you will never forget. Imagine your car broke down and you brought it to an experienced mechanic. The mechanic will not just randomly start replacing random parts to fix the car. The mechanic will first diagnose. The mechanic will look for the actual fault, because replacing 10 perfectly good components never fix the one thing that's causing the problem. And we need to adopt the same mindset when fixing and optimizing a sales funnel. But most of us approach it in the wrong way. We redesign, we rebrand, we switch tool from ClickFunnels to Go High Level to Kajabi. We rebuild everything from scratch without ever identifying where the breakdown actually happens. The businesses that are growing fastest are not making more changes, they're making the right changes. So please find the leak, then fix the leak, and then scale. Because the difference between businesses and entrepreneurs who are growing and scaling and businesses and entrepreneurs who are stuck is they make the right changes, they optimize their funnel the right way. So now go build your funnel, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.